First at 4, a vapor cloud at the Marathon refinery. Police close a portion of Schaefer Road during the investigation. We'll tell you where things stand right now at 4. 3 teenagers arrested in the murder of a Dearborn woman. Their ages will surprise you. And the shocking clue police say helped them crack the case. Paula.
I'm going to show you the simple tool that some schools and some parents are using to stem this teen vaping craze, and also they are struggling to balance education and discipline.
And in the first forecast, we're enjoying some calm between the storms. We'll take a look at when more rain returns. First at 4 starts now.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Let's start first at 4 with this breaking news happening in southwest Detroit, where crews are wrapping up at the scene of a leak at the Marathon refinery. Now, the city says the leak was emitting an oil vapor cloud all over the area, but they say there was never any danger to the public and things are under control at this point. Marathon is monitoring the air nearby as a precaution. Schaefer Road between Dix Street and I-75 was shut down, but is now back open. We're also sharing breaking news about information about 3 teenagers who are in custody right now, accused of robbing and killing a 29-year-old woman over in Dearborn. The teens, 13, 14, and 17 years old, were arrested the day after Saja Anjanabi was killed in front of her family's home near Tyerman Avenue and Bingham Street. Police say the 14-year-old was actually wearing a court-ordered electronic tether at the time of the crime, and information from that tether puts that teen at the scene. Dearborn's police chief said these robberies were random attacks.
She was an innocent victim. It was a random crime, and if I were in that car, or any of you were in that car, the same thing would have happened to you. It has nothing to do with anything.
Dearborn police say the 17-year-old is in jail. The 13 and 14-year-olds are in a juvenile detention facility until they are formally charged. An investigation is underway this afternoon after 2 people are found dead inside of a home. Now, this happened on Sorrento Street near Puritan on Detroit's west side. Police tell us the 2 were found shot to death. So far, the names of the victims are not being released. We do have a crew working that story, and we'll have a live update at 5. New criticism for Russia on Capitol Hill. This comes as the Michigan congressional delegation demands the release of Paul Whelan. He's the Novi man accused of being a spy. This morning, lawmakers joined Whelan's sister to speak out after new concerns about Whelan's health. Whelan was arrested in late December on charges of espionage. His family says he's innocent, and Russian officials have made it difficult to contact him.
We don't know the circumstances surrounding his arrest, but we should all be alarmed and outraged at this continued injustice. We can't allow American citizens to be used in a political tug of war. This cannot be tolerated.
Senator Gary Peters is sponsoring a resolution calling for Paul Whelan's release. Both the House and Senate are expected to vote on the measure soon. Flooded streets and power outages. It sure was a mess from yesterday. Many of you still coping with the impact from last night's storms. Now, we just got an update into our newsroom, and DTE says about 16,000 people are still without power, but most should be on by the end of the day. Andrew Humphrey in for Ben. Andrew, we're getting a break now.
A much needed break. You're absolutely right, Karen. Just in time for folks to recover, for workers to continue doing their jobs. If you come across any down power lines, if they haven't been accounted for, make sure you still alert authorities. If you're using a generator, remember, keep it outside, away from the house by at least 20 feet. Don't want any accidents out there. No rain falling right now, although we do have cloudy skies overhead. No rain for us for now and for any of your evening plans, but wouldn't you know it, off to our west. Showers and thunderstorms setting up. Now, don't worry if you have evening plans, late night plans. Those showers don't move in for this evening nor for tonight. Temperatures right now mostly in the 60s and 70s, and what a spread. Middle and low 60s to our north, 64 in Sandusky, while it's 75 in Adrian and warmer to our south. We'll talk about storms coming back, but also higher temperatures. That and your weekend and 7-day forecast coming up.
In Decision 2020, for the first time, the top Democratic presidential candidates will be on one debate stage tonight. The field of 10 will square off in Houston. Devin Scillian following this on why this debate is crucial and the top Democrat who has some really interesting advice for the candidates. Devin.
Political junkies really looking forward to tonight, Karen. This debate is different. It's in the first two debates, you recall, including those here in Detroit, the 20 candidates were split up over 2 nights. Tonight, only the 10 highest polling candidates made the cut to be there. Here's a look at who will take the stage. Frontrunner Joe Biden going to square off against Senator Elizabeth Warren for the first time in this campaign season. They haven't been on the same debate stage yet. Biden will be at center stage, sandwiched between his progressive competitors, Warren and Senator Bernie Sanders. Debate being held at Texas Southern University. We expect questions on gun control, health care, climate change, and of course the economy. Today, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi talked about what she doesn't want to hear or see from the candidates.
I myself did not encourage any of our members. In fact, I discouraged members and candidates from ever even mentioning the president's name. So I know that part of the debate is who can contend with him, but I think more importantly for the American people, it's who can really connect with them, identify with their hopes and dreams and aspirations and apprehensions.
If the president's name does not come up sometime during the course of the evening, that will be a stunner. It'll be interesting to see how many of the candidates follow the advice. Also, we'll see if anyone can shake things up in this new, smaller format. The debates, Karen, it's interesting. It's what we had before were 2 nights of 10. Now it's 1 night of 10. Will we get more questions and answers than usual? Not necessarily so, but we'll see how it plays out tonight.
Well, it will be nice to have everyone at least on one stage.
Yep.
Look forward to it. All right. Thank you, Devin.
You bet.
The battle over flavored e-cigarettes has gone national, and the industry is fighting back this afternoon. The Trump administration working on rules to ban flavors that range from mint to mango to cucumber. The proposal comes after 6 deaths connected to vaping-related lung illnesses. Lobbyists for the vaping industry have challenged bans in several states, but face a tougher fight at the federal level. A spokesperson says, beware what could happen if a ban goes into effect.
Just getting rid of these products, it's going to do nothing to combat the black market contaminated THC products that are causing lung illnesses, and will actually just open up a brand new, potentially multi-billion-dollar black market.
Now, while the exact cause of the illnesses has not been determined, Metro Detroit schools are concerned right now about how to best protect their students' health. It's an age-old question with a new twist. Paula Tutman takes a look at the challenge of how to convince teenagers to stop doing something that could kill them.
At Romeo High School, home of the Bulldog, meet the enforcer, the Vape Dog. Vaping, almost completely undetectable, apparently rarely escapes a simple metal detector. And so if a student is suspected of having vape paraphernalia, they are Vape Dogged.
This vaping thing came on so fast, it's about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. And, you know, we're trying to keep up, and as educators, our first thing we want to do is educate kids to help them make right choices. But it happens so fast, you know, we have to also respond with discipline.
And now that the governor, lawmakers, and even the White House are talking about it, the double-edged sword of Vape Dog is those kids who vape are being fueled by the threat of losing their vape.
A lot of them are going out to stores, getting as much as they can get right now, because not only is it just like for themselves, for their own benefit, but they also participate in sales too.
I see a lot about it on social media, like some people are like, I'm gonna sell my vape, who wants it? And I just think that's not a good idea.
Corey Zelda, a 17-year-old senior in the Sterling Heights district, skipped school to travel to Lansing today to talk to lawmakers about school vaping.
I don't vape, but I'm an anomaly. Nope. A lot of kids do. I'm one of the very few that don't.
And don't think it's just high school.
I think you'll find it in middle schools as well, if we're being honest with ourselves.
We have irritable behavior within the kids, changes of moods, and nicotine withdrawals, which are really common.
Which means school districts are fighting a balance between discipline and education. In the Romeo district, it's a 9-day suspension. In the Rochester district, it's 3. But school officials are walking that tender tightrope of discipline versus education on the dangers.
Not only take seriously the discipline aspect of it in terms of the consequence, but bringing support to that child so we can help if we have a potential addiction problem.
In the Rochester Community Schools District, tobacco-related disciplines have gone up 77% in the last year. And it's not for cigarettes, it's for vaping. Does anything work at this age? Gio, a senior in Romeo, says he thinks discipline actually wields more weight than educational intervention.
I think there should be a little more punishment there, because, I mean, how many times have you warned kids here and there? Suspend them a little bit, ISS, they still come back on the same thing.
Yeah, and you know what? School officials are basically saying, look, now that they have your attention, and now there's a lot of talk about this, what they need is money thrown at this because they need resources. They need resources for more education for parents as well as students, as well as help with enforcement because as one superintendent said, he said, listen, you know what? The laws and legislation simply cannot, it's not capable of keeping up with marketing. Karen?
Oh, this is such a big problem. Thank you very much, Paula. Still ahead, first at 4, there is a new option to have groceries delivered to your door. We'll tell you who's taken on Amazon and how much it costs. Later, relive one of the biggest moments ever for the Detroit Youth Choir. Plus, what they're thinking about as they move on. A crime caught on camera in a grocery store. This video is a reminder of what not to do when you go shopping. We'll be right back.